Yo, hey, can you hear me? You listening to
WAW. What a week.
Yeah, what a week.
Hey, Tom, thank you for joining us again. This week we've got a double dose of comicness, if that is a word, as well as another look at an arena with a different collection of characters. So let's get straight into it. Welcome to our What a Week. This is a Africa Podcast Network show.
This is
Wow!
What a Week.
What a week. You can't make this shit up.
He's a rather large character, and he's also a substantial example of how you can tackle challenges and setbacks, overcome them, and still be amusing at the same time. He might not be able to swim, but he can make you wet yourself. Please give a wow welcome to comedian Skhumba Big Banger Hlophe.
First of all, this is what I like. The reason why I'm here for the intro pen. Then I'm tired too. I love the intros. Like you put some effort. You did an intro for 1 minute. I'm like, oh, is that really me? I'm like, hey, this is a nice intro. I watched an episode Gasilas. I'm like, they have nice intros here. So
I want to be here.
So I want to be here and then take the intro, go play it on my shows. Then I'm done. This thing is done. You guys have been great. My name is Skhumba Hlophe.
So don't we need to do one for Thomas also? Oh, Thomas.
Keep that boy. It's fine.
Skhumba, your childhood.
Yeah, man.
Briefly, take us to your childhood.
The most amazing childhood I can never dream of.
Yeah.
I can never change anything about it.
Yeah.
Because it was nice.
Sure.
Getting a beating from my grandmother, my mom.
In fact, you almost wondered when you don't get a beating. No,
you're like,
Gogo is sick.
You're like, no, this is punishment. There's going to be 3 of them, and when they come, it's going to be rough too. So yeah, growing up was amazing. In a small household, four room, as in dining room, kitchen, 2 bedroom, 1 bedroom for my grandmother and grandfather, my mom and my sister, it and us.
You?
Yeah.
Siblings, how many siblings did you have?
I have, from my mom's side, I've got 3.
Yeah.
From my dad's side, I stopped counting at 7.
Did they all sleep with you on the same floor, or what's going on?
No, on my mom's side, I didn't grow up with my dad's side.
Okay.
But I knew my dad. But grew up with my mom. There's 2 of us, myself, my sister on one side, and my younger sister, Chusil. And then on the other side, Upapu Tando, Papaya, fresh. There's a lot of
How many of the names can you remember from your father's side?
There's a lot, fresh. Cause I think the last time I saw Pampas in the boot, or 2 months ago, so I don't know the name.
He's made another one.
There's another one. There's another one somewhere. And if you sing this, Baba Nyas wins.
And then you think I love sex.
I was talking from experience. Sugar man.
So at the Comedy Central roast of Zomizi, you are roasting me when you should be roasting your father.
You must always do that. It's like when you're on stage, you can't introduce 3 uncles in one set. So you need to have 1 uncle and take everything wrong from the other uncles and paste it in one person. And Trevor Noah taught me that. Like, we have too many characters, man.
Yeah.
Have 1 character and take everything wrong. Put it in that 1 person, then you could.
That 1 character that just needs all the help.
Exactly.
Can't it's 4 of your uncles.
It's like that, my guy.
What was the dream when you were a child? And who were the guys you were looking up to during your childhood?
There were no really not celebrity, but people to look up to. Sure. There was one guy, Jonas Mkwanas. He was the only guy that was wearing a tie, working at the bank. And you look at him like, and then he played for Jomo Cosmos. So like, okay, he's doing something that is positive. But anything else, we Kari, Cherry, Chikizi, Vagasha, there's Mendoza somewhere looking. And everything is like you don't see how they get it, but you know they put money here.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe they steal cars, maybe they rob people. We don't know, but there's things happening in Kasi. But it's not something that your parents will agree for you to do.
Sure.
Yeah, that's why I always get home on time. I'm never late fresh for nothing, Joe. Because my mom.
Yeah.
Until I was 25.
And now because of your wife.
It's a story of another day. I'm like until I was 25, then getting by 7:30.
You?
Yeah,
Yeah.
25. That 7:30 I need to be home. Otherwise, I'm getting it, cuz.
So, when you were a police officer, you still needed to be home by 7?
Yes, I was staying home until you have.
Why did you just arrest it?
My guy, until you have your own house,
Yeah.
you have your own rules. La, ama rules are like a shop.
Yeah.
So you don't come here and tell us what to do.
How did you end up being a police officer, Skhumba?
I applied. I was not. I'm not that I say this. This is what I'm saying. And this goes out to everyone in the world.
Yeah.
I was never a police officer. I was working in the SAPS as a senior personnel officer in the human resource management.
But you were hired by SAPS.
Yes.
So you're a police officer. You just didn't wear uniform.
I have just see again that.
You just didn't do a break fall and a push up. What? You're an officer?
No, man. I went to courses. I learned how to do HR. I'm good in HR. Yeah. I'll just do HR.
So never once did you think, no man, I need some action. So I can also be out there.
I'm from a Chindi, so jam.
Seen enough.
I'm from a cast. I've seen enough action in my time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, I didn't want to be a police officer. I wanted to be something else, man. I wanted to be a lawyer or a doctor. But those things were just things that they were just giving us in jail for no reason. Excluding no. Yeah, you can be a doctor. And they were lying, man. With the education they gave us, and they want us to be doctors. They're teaching us English in every neck. Yeah, Nina, but you want us to be a doctor. Suga.
No, but Nina is the name of the girl you're talking to. Was
You understand what I'm saying? How to become a lawyer with that type of... But it was what we were given, and it taught us a lot in life in jail. More than anything else, more than being a doctor or owning what you need to own.
Sure.
It taught us how to be human. It taught us how to be responsible. It taught us how to take care of the next person. It taught us respect, man. So there's a lot that came with the education that we got.
sure. Hey, look what Haslanyana.
Obvious.
You made a plan.
We are teachers that will teach, like with teacher Usiroke was
Yeah.
teaching economics.
Sure.
We'll teach for 15 minutes. The next 45 minutes is life lessons.
Yeah.
That's all. It's just so in the sort. This is how you treat women. This is how you can't do this. This is how you dress and all those things. So you learn those things in the period of accounting or in the period of economics. And then you take that outside, and those are life lessons.
You apply.
Then I'm tired. Now we go to them with 2 kids. Don't let them manage all I about team. But I'm out, man.
So how does the comedy then happen?
I think comedy happened on Sundays. You know, when Sundays chilling a corner in Namachita.
Yeah.
And they start talking about what happened yesterday.
Sure.
I'm the one narrating the story.
When you were the storyteller.
I think I tell the story like the guys were not there.
Sure.
And then add my own spice into it. So a guy that was owning a Capri then
I remember Capri.
Yes, Capri upstairs.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I DJ'd Caprivi, I think, in 1998.
Yeah.
Ivaga Golf one agrees.
Zia Zia.
Yo.
Kaka was like, yeah, let's do this comedy thing, man. I'm like, nah, I don't know what you're talking about.
So at the time, who are the comedians on the circuit?
In South Africa,
Yeah.
I know no one.
Okay.
That's a ring element. I've never attended a comedy show. I don't know no comedians. If I know a comedian, it should be the pure Munati guys.
Oh, yes.
But I didn't know that they were doing stand-up, because I've never watched them doing stand-up.
Oh, so now you just knew them as Bafana about this sketch.
Don't even sketch.
Sure.
But those were the guys that were in our eyes, but not stand-up wise. Stand-up wise, there was no one that I would say, oh, I look up to this one. Until I watched my first stand-up show. Son Tosh Mashling was on stage, Eugene Koza and Thomas Kumed in Rosebank. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can really do this thing.
Sure.
And then,
In fact, I've been doing this thing.
this is what I do, but this one is structured now.
Yeah.
Because there's time in it, there's timing, you need to wait for people to laugh for that so that you tell the next joke. So I started then.
Sure.
And then I never stopped it.
One of the stories that caught my attention this week, Jamie Foxx has been in hospital for the last, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
And I think 2 weeks ago, we were told Jamie Foxx is in hospital, but the movie he was shooting,
Got finished by someone else.
they used someone else to finish the movie. I was like, hey, man. So Vele, They forget about you very fast.
Isn't it so sad, Fresh, that you work so hard? Like, we're talking about Jamie Foxx, we're talking about Muhammad Ali,
Sure.
the guy that played in that movie. You're talking
Yes.
about Ray Charles. You're talking about the Jamie Foxx show. You're talking about...
No, man, Muhammad Ali was Will Smith.
But he was there.
Oh, okay. Well,
He was there, and he played a peak role in the whole movie.
sure.
So you're talking about someone that has been in the industry for quite some time, and for the studios not to give this time guy a chance.
But the show must go on, Peter. We've got release dates. We've got investors who've put in $1 million.
So
There's other blacks out there.
But at the same, there is other like there's a queue outside for someone to take what you need to be doing. But my thing is, if that's the case and that's how the industry is built, let me charge Imale Paya fresh.
Sure.
Let me charge as much as I can, so that if anything happens to me, I'm in that hospital trying to recover, and they say, "Yo, we're finding someone to continue." My money is in my bank because I'm gonna charge them a standard rate. They say a well rate. Oh, this is how much you need to get paid. Nah, it doesn't work.
But it's Jamie Foxx, so I'm sure he's getting paid nicely anyway. And then yesterday they announced that, they've now going to get Nick Cannon to do Peach
Is
Shazam.
it done with the maternity leave? Because with the can they go pregnant here and go what?
No, I think Utlo Pregisa Shazam.
Now Nick Cannon is going to replace Jamie Foxx.
In fact, we've heard nothing from Jamie Foxx until they announced that Beat Shazam is going to be done Nick Cannon. So we're not sure if he's just holding the fort or if he's taking over. So now all of a sudden we've heard from Jamie Foxx. So I don't know if...
I have a question for you.
What?
Let's say, for argument's sake, they say, may soul rest in peace, Bob Mapena. Bob Mapena is in hospital for
Sure.
Can you take his job? Would you do it? Honestly, would you go and say, Bob is in hospital right now in ICU, there's an opening at Kaya, I want to go and take that job?
Are you asking me as DJ Fresh?
I'm asking you as DJ Fresh.
Winning DJ, or are you asking me as another radio guy?
I'm asking you as DJ Fresh, the radio guy. Would you go and take Hispanic out here?
You know what? Because Bob is my boy.
Sure.
Bob was my boy. If you're looking at it from that point of view, maybe not. But if they're saying you're holding the fort down until he comes back, then it's a different
It's a different story altogether.
It's a different story. But if they're saying Bob is not well, we want you to take his job, I don't think I'd be able to do that.
Okay.
But if they said Bob is leaving, come fill those shoes, I'm ready. It's a different story then.
Nah, I was once,
Because me, I'm scared of nothing.
I was once offered a job to go to play someone. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Who are you supposed to replace?
Hey, Skhumba, please come. He has left. Come through. I'm like,
No.
I called him. I'm like, yo, they say I must come replace you. What do you say? Yo, my man, don't do it. I'm like, all right.
What's that mean?
Yo, my man, don't do it. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to come here. But okay, sharp.
What was this me?
I don't know, Fresh.
No, because if it was me, then I was worried that 947 will always have man.
Make kick ass, Fresh. Me, I'm dope, too. Make kick ass.
No, you kick ass.
Me, Joe, you put me in a position to say, Skhumba, that's 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll turn that 2 minutes into an hour. And I'll turn that hour into a 3 hour. And that 3 hour into a 15-year contract. I'm not good.
She's a boy.
Like me, na.
In fact, you get the call that, listen, Klaus Panele Bob. And one thing I love and respect about Greg Maluka is Greg Maluka has vision.
Sure.
Greg Maluka will often see your talent's blind spot. Your own talent's blind spot. Greg will say, but have you looked here?
I'm on stage.
Yeah.
I'm on stage doing the Comics Choice, the opening segment, like
Sure.
on the first one on stage.
Sure.
And Greg is sitting there at the top. Me, I go on stage, I do my thing. And then after the show, halftime, I see Greg. I go greet him like he out.
Sure.
I don't know him from why. I'm like, that Chris. He's like, hey, Joe, I love the set. I'm like, how am I riding? And I'm out here.
Sure.
And then from there, Kaya has a Kaya cruise. On that day, Greg took my numbers. He calls me on speakerphone like, yo, Skhumba, unjan, Greg, good man.
Yeah.
Listen, man, we're doing the Kaya cruise. We're asking do you have 40 minutes of comedy in you? I'm like, I have 40 minutes, not just one.
Yeah.
At the sharp.
I can do a Saturday.
I can do a set for the rest of this cruise.
Yeah.
But cool. The next thing, I'm at the Kaya cruise. And guess what? I go to the Kaya cruise on that Friday. The late great Nelson Mandela passes on. So Bob needs to come back and do radio. So Bob is not in the cruise anymore.
Hey, man.
I go to the cruise, I kill. Hard. Come back. Craig's like, do you mind coming maybe and do something no Bob on 1-8? I'm like, yeah, it will be fun. And then I go there first day, and they told me straight, if people like you at Kaya, will give you a contract. If they don't, our time is bad. Get in there, find Bob, kill Bob. Hard. Shower was still waiting.
In fact, every time you were on the radio with Bob, half the time Bob was on the floor laughing.
Like it will always be one of the best things I've ever done on radio.
Sure.
Because I was supposed to be there for 2 weeks, and I'm there till now. This is my 10th year at Kai.
Yeah.
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 This is my 10th year at Kai.
But one thing I've always argued about your relationship with Bob, when I see them teaming you up with other people, is that because Bob had also the experience.
Sure.
Bob knew how to unlock Skhumba.
That's the thing. That's why
Bob knew. So if you were Bobby, Bob knew when to say "sir,"
and then
you knew Bobby.
I knew how to concord and I'm at that time because it was something else. Because I worked with Bob for almost 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years every Friday. I was there, and there was never a day where I scripted something down.
Sure.
To say, yo, hey Bob, man, just I don't know, because man get like, yo, Skhumba.
Yeah.
So you just see that thing. It's here, Bob, thing is cocked and I'm telling him my own version, which is fucked up. Yeah. And man, there's always it will go down as one of the greatest moments of radio.
Sure. So Bob passes away. Where were you when you heard the news?
I'm home cooking them shank. I just put them shank if a oven. McFarlane calls me. McFarlane, only time McFarlane calls me is when he's happy or he wants to curse at me for nothing.
Yes.
McFarlane, say, Mac, he's crying. I'm like, you mind? Did you hear it? What? Bob is gone. Gone where? What gone? I'm going to the station. Just look like,
Exactly.
But no, man, Bob is gone. I open Twitter, yes. I get calls from everyone. And I switch off my phone. It was a saddest day, Joe. It was not a good, the 10th of August, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
What's the one thing you learned from Bob Abena?
Respect. Can never open the mic if you don't know what to say. If you don't know what to say, when you're on radio, play songs, Joe.
Yeah.
If you're not sure about anything, don't say it.
You know, every time I do talks with broadcasters, I remind them that if what you're going to say when you open your mouth is not better than the next song, play the next song.
Easy,
Like,
Joe.
what are you doing?
Like, whatever you do, don't open the mic. People are waiting for you to say something.
Yeah.
Be sure what you want to say, because you want to say things and then they land in the wrong way. They will land in the wrong way, either or. But be in a position to say you can support what you said. You understand what I'm saying? So if not, play 3 songs too. Play ads, play promos, and back announce and front announce and leave. That's all. I've learned that.
Now, speaking of loss, you lost your firstborn.
Yeah.
In what,
2006.
2006?
Yeah, 2006.
Take us through that period in your life.
I'm excited. I'm a father for the first time. Joe, I'm like, I want to be the best father that I can be. And it's crazy that it's the start of my career on radio,
Yes.
on Voice of Tembisa FM, and at the same time, my stand-up comedy cup review is just starting. And then I lose my son 9 weeks later. So
9 weeks old.
9 weeks old, fresh, and I've spent 9 weeks with my son. Like every day I was there. And then, he started crying one day, and he didn't stop. Cried until took him to the hospital, spent a day at hospital. I was there, ICU. They're like, yo, Mr. Hlophe, you look tired now. Go home and take some rest, man. We've put him into medication. Let's hope he's going to be okay. Get a call around 3 a.m. Tell me to come to the hospital. I get there. You know, when they call you to the room, as I did, you know something like in the movies.
Yeah, and I said to the
And we see this thing, and I'm like, this is not good news. This one. They're like, yo, your son is gone, Joe. And that's that. I don't think I always count my late son as like he's still here.
He's still here, yeah.
He's my first one.
What's his name?
Usam, no, he's got his thumb,
Yes.
his tattoo. Yeah, so yeah, Usam. And luckily the following year I was blessed with a daughter.
Because like your father, you make them.
Yeah. No, what's it? Also, she's I'm paid up the I'm paying that. And then years later, blessed with my son with my wife now. Because after my second born, me and my mom got grand.
Sure.
But yeah, life happens, man. But we could now, we could friends, grand. Then I got blessed with my son, and then my other son now, 5-year-old, who speaks English for no reason. I'm like, why are you speaking English too? I'm like, why are you twanging? I can't believe it. You can't believe what? Oh, Dad. Who's Dad? Why are you calling me Dad, Joe? I mean, oh, can't believe this guy. This guy. Oh, yeah, you understand? I would get a beating for no reason in here. I mean, I was saying,
Exactly.
hey, this one
Goes
to a white school. He goes, like, really?
What's the tembi, suppose?
Because I want my kids to have an experience that I didn't have.
Oh, yes.
So my daughter goes to Skhumba Hlophe, and she doesn't want to go to a suburb school or a white school. My daughter goes to Elokshin.
So how old is your daughter?
My daughter is 16 now, and my son is 12.
Sure.
My and then the white guy, the 5-year-old. So the 12-year-old and the 5-year-old go to. I think my son goes to a semi-white school. It's not,
Sure.
Yeah, there's too many black people there than white people.
So we took over, basically.
Because they got I think there's 2 white people and 3 colored and 2 Indians.
And I'm sure it's only because
the rest
the
are
parents
black.
can't afford to remove them.
And even the teachers are black. So I wouldn't say it's a white school. It's in a white neighborhood, but
Sure.
it's a black school. But this one, yes, fresh lamtuana, yes.
Before you lost Samu, what were your hopes and dreams for Samu?
To be a better person, man, treasure. Like I said, we come from neighborhoods that we didn't choose to stay in, and the backgrounds we didn't choose to have. I wanted him to have everything that I didn't have, and I still want my kids to have everything that I never had. But at the same time, don't forget where Ubaba comes from, where Umama comes from, and you staying where you stay now means every week you need to go to a gas and hlale gas. So my kids have best of both. Cool. And that's what it's supposed to be like.
Speaking of not forgetting your roots, when you bought your first property, because you have more than one,
I have one.
when you bought your first property and you went and sat in your first property, you picked up the phone and you called Greg Maloka to say, Greg, I'm sitting in my own property right now. Thank you very much. Why was it important for you to do that?
When I fresh, if there's one thing about me, I don't forget people that had an impact in my life.
Yeah.
Whether good or bad, I'll never forget what Greg did for me with those little cameras on top of microphones at Kaya. That took my career from 20 to 100.
Like this
out here. Because now, the whole podcasting is great. I think we were doing a podcast without knowing we were doing a podcast when we were doing a podcast.
We often had that conversation between myself and Greg, that you guys are showing the entire radio industry that radio is not about radio anymore. Radio is about content that lives beyond the microphone on the radio. And you guys were doing that 10 years ago.
Fam, we started doing that and it blew up, man. Everywhere in the country, people knew who I was now. And I started doing businesses for Abantu. There's a guy, David Tony, you know what he would do?
Yeah.
Every month, he will take the 4 episodes that we did at Kaya, put them in a DVD and sell them for 20 rand.
Yeah, like...
I promise you. That's why we stopped the whole thing. That guy made so much money. Because volume 1, volume 2, volume 3. Oh, no, Skhumba.
Yeah, Skhumba volume 25.
Fam, he went to the internet, got a nice picture, put it there, have Bob, have Kuli, have Kaya.
Oh, wow.
20 rand, and people were buying it. People would have them and play DVDs. I'm like, so people are making money out of these things. But if it wasn't for that, I would have never be where I am. So Greg played a huge role. Kaya played a massive role to taking me from just being a stand-up comedian and being this comedian that I am right now.
But you're also now a businessman. You're now making proper money. Let's talk about that.
Do you think it's proper money?
It's better than being booked.
No, you know what happened?
Yeah.
Being booked was going to be a problem for me because of how I do my stand-up. I do my stand-up for black people, sure.
Sure.
I made my calculations. In every 10 South Africans, 8 of them are black. And in the 8, 6 of them work. And in the 6, about 4, they can buy my tickets. So who do I do my stand-up for? Do I do my stand-up for the 2 people?
Yeah.
Or for these ones? For these ones. Because in the 4, banga convince the 2, and I have 6 people coming to see my shows. So I'm like, let me not wait for a booking from any agents, because the shows are white. There's a lot of white audience. And the black comedy industry it's there, but it's not been taken over. Blacks only happens 4 times a year, fam.
Sure.
4 times a year. So if David didn't...
Whatever David remembers, hey, Bond is due again, let me do it.
Yeah, like, to another Blacks only. So if Blacks only comes in 4 times a year, David can't book me 4 times a year.
And how are you servicing the rest of those people?
You understand what I'm saying? So I can only do 1 or 2 Blacks onlys in a year. There's 99% Xhosa and 99% Zulu. That comes in twice a year. What am I doing between then and now? I'm like, so do I wait for a call from a white person to say, "Hey, Skhumba, we'd like you to come to the show, but it's in I don't want people to this is me. I want to be as comfortable as possible."
In South Africa.
Fam, I decided to start doing my own thing. Now, with Kaya being the one that is putting me out there, people want to see more of me.
Exactly.
How about I do my own thing?
Sure.
Started doing my own shows, having my own team. And I've never stopped. I've been touring for quite some time now. And I'm having fun, and people still come to the shows, and they're still having so much fun, and they still say, "Yo, Joe, I think you lost your mind at 20 minutes because we are hlanya."
Sure.
And I still love that feedback.
So did you call Greg when you got the second property?
Let me have a drink, bitch. I love Musa.
That fat man screaming, that old man fresh, talking about you.
South Africa kumnandi, man. That's South Africa kumnandi.
In fact, don't you wake up every morning wishing you could just do a comedy show every day? Because there's so much happening in this country.
I wish.
Yeah.
I wish. And sometimes it's not about comedy, Fresh.
Yeah.
It's always about... There's people that are waiting for us to say something on their behalf.
Yes.
Like right now, there's a story, Paragwana Hospital, how Paragwana has lost so many babies.
Sure.
And you asked me about my son. I'm like, I'm worried about the people that lost babies. It's a lot of kids.
Yeah. And not one report says negligence. Not one.
Really?
Not one. And they'll never admit that because someone was negligent.
And maybe the negligence was caused by lack of support from the government.
Yes.
Which makes us ask, "What 1 million in London, you'd have done something better."
Exactly. Tabonke bus. Exactly.
Tanzania is just not. It's not far. Become a driver,
Exactly. But someone's private jet was used.
And someone got paid.
Exactly.
Okay. But we have a hospital that is lacking money. We have Thames Hospital that is not even a hospital. That's Fresh. Have you? Some say Thames Hospital or Cham.
No, it's fine.
You won't even.
No, I'm fine.
You won't even pass a casualty.
Yeah.
Because of the people lying down. People are dying and emoting and stay there for days, and no one is saying anything. But we like, oh, it's great. The government is doing great things. Where?
In fact, Patco buses and other bus services that are subsidized by the Gauteng government are not running the last 2 days of this week.
Yeah, because the government didn't pay them.
Because the subsidy has not been paid. And government is saying, "Oh no, maybe you'll get it on Monday." But also, why is Patco not saying to Skhumba, who buys a monthly bus ticket? Because Patco knew two weeks ago that they might not get the subsidy, therefore they might not be able to get diesel, therefore there might not be a bus service. Skhumba pays 1,000 rand to get a bus ticket because he can only afford 1,000 rand for a bus ticket. Why don't you not tell Skhumba beginning of the month that the bus might not be leaving, so don't buy a month bus ticket? Now you must come up with 100 rand a day until Pat goes back next week, Monday or Tuesday.
And there is people that are supposed to be relaying the message to the masses. There's people that work in communication. That's what they're supposed to do, to communicate. That's what you do. You work in Department of Communication. Communicate with people. Say, yo, on this day it's bad. And who's going to pay these people back their monies? Pass.
Exactly.
And there's a reason why they don't have cars and using buses, because they don't get paid enough. That's why they're using a bus, not a taxi, not an Uber or whatever. So if you're not telling them, they've lost out on how much now?
And the average person that is spending, let's say, 1,000 rand a month on that bus ticket, that's all I can afford. All the other money goes to the bread and this and that. So now I must now come up with 100 rand that I don't have, because I need to get to work, because the boss won't understand.
Do you think our government understands how poor our people are? Do you think they understand that there's someone that goes to work for 21 days, and in that 21 days, Imala enjoy maybe is 21 on the 21st day, because the 20 days are for rent, for school, for the kids. There is there's Umashonisa in the same thing, in the same breath. There's Umashonisa that needs his money, and one, which is not even 500 rand to say, let me take myself out. There's a friend of mine that passed on, Bus will always say to me, say PS, whatever you do with your monthly salary, first thing you do, before anyone else
Spoil yourself.
touches your money, go sit down, buy yourself a steak, and don't say anything don't tell anyone. Because
Spoil yourself.
from Lapo.
Yeah.
So whatever you do with the little that you get, eat it, Joe. Like, enjoy it. If you wanna go, go. Buy yourself that nice t-shirt, like you are happy.
Sure.
Pen.
And in fact, Jamie Foxx in hospital being replaced twice already shows you that people move on. So enjoy what you have, guys.
Hey, people move on. Hey, Fresh, I know it for a fact. People move on, too. People move on, too.
I mean, Skhumba and Thomas were removed from breakfast at Kaya. People were up in arms for 1 week, people up for 2 weeks. Now they've moved on. They've moved on.
They're sending shout-outs now. But guys, it shows you that no one is guaranteed anything in life.
Yeah.
Okay, and no one can say this thing belongs to me.
It's for you. This one is for you.
Fam, it's not.
God says this one. No one else.
Fam.
In 2 weeks, they moved on. The tweets. It's a million tweets today. Next week is 2 tweets.
Hey Joe, look at all your ex-girlfriends.
Yeah.
Bonke banabantwana manje. They moved on, Joe. Look at everyone in your life. I say, listen to all the lies. I can't live without you.
In fact, on some, I'll never love again.
No.
Oh, yeah. She
has a love bite right now. Not from you.
So when she's watching us right now, trembling. Yeah? Because the guy is busy.
You see, I didn't say anything about have or fresh. I see him. But people move on, man, and
I'll never love again.
you can never hold them hostage and say, these are my people, they will always fight for me. Nah, fam. No, that's wrong.
Now, speaking of people fighting for you, you got into a bit of trouble when you tuned Fees Must Fall.
Yeah.
The girls who were protesting.
Yeah.
And you were talking about how half of them are naked or half naked.
Yeah.
And you got into trouble for that. Were you expecting people to hopefully maybe...
I was not even aware I was big, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just being as crazy as one can be, only to find out. And you know, when you're not educated about certain things, Fresh.
Sure.
We're really not educated about gender-based violence.
Oh, yes.
About freedom of speech and when to cross the line and all those things. I don't think I was that educated. Me, I was just a comedian from a Tembisa trying to make a video now. I don't even know which I'm big until on a Wednesday I got a phone call from a Skhumba. I knew I was big when Skhumba was like, why not But yeah, it was huge, man, and nearly cost me my career. Like I was definitely going to be the first comedian to be cancelled.
Yeah.
As little as I was.
Sure.
But I like if you have people that know how to advise you, and at that time around me, I had Craig Maluk, I had Bob Mabena, I had Neil from Kai. They're like, yo, there's a letter that says we must let you go.
Yeah. So Vele, the councillors were coming.
It was there. And yeah, I was wrong. And I went on record and apologized for what I said. And it was out of taste for me to say that.
Sure.
One less was catchy, I'm telling.
I was going to say, what was the biggest learning for you in that period?
You know what's the biggest lesson I got when I fresh? And I think I am playing it right now in my life. If I have something to say, I'm gonna say it on stage. I'm not gonna say it on WAW.
Sure.
And so if I have something to say about whatever that is happening and people want to really talk about, I'm not gonna say it here. I'm gonna say it on stage, because on stage, I think the people that buy tickets sit there, they expect me to say something about that.
Yes.
As much as it's not going to be distasteful, because this is a comedy show. People are here for comedy. And people that watch us here, they're not watching this for comedy, they're watching it for information, they're watching it to get entertained.
Yeah.
Some watch it for comedy, some don't really care if I'm funny or not.
Sure.
So it's up to me to know when to tell jokes or not when to tell jokes. Hell, I've learned that a lot, Joe.
What's the one thing you'd never apologize for?
For being me.
But what does being me mean?
I'll never apologize for this. Is like I say, you see, when I'm on stage, fresh. When I'm amongst the stage, I am me. Like it's my happiest place besides being home with my family. I know the amount of stresses people bring into my show. Sure. I know the amount of sadness that people bring and the amount of expectation that people want from me on that day. So me being me, I can never apologize for it.
Sure.
Intel.
Me being me, who do you think should play you in a movie?
Ooh,
Skhumba the movie.
Yo. I know I should play Kenneth Nkosi. I know I should play Kenneth Nkosi. If Kenneth Nkosi wants to do a movie, Thomas Kumete will direct it. I will do the role for free, gents. I just want to be Kenneth for a week.
No, but Kenneth Nkosi could also play you, though.
He's old at all.
No, but makeup can fix all of that.
Then let it be Kenneth Nkosi. It will be, that movie.
In fact, it's time for our movie feature, what we are watching this coming weekend. This week's movie is Assassin. Noza Mombata is in a movie with Bruce Willis, guys.
Dude, I even told Thomas, I'm like, in your life, have you ever thought you say, watch a movie by Bruce Willis and Noza Mombata?
My man.
You never think we can say that as South Africans. It's not because it's Tajela Panza, but some of the things that are happening in the world right now, showing us that we can match anyone in the world too.
Hey, that you're Trevor Noah, but you can be at the Met Gala and then you're doing these awards. Your Uncle Waffles, you can be playing at the after party of the Met Gala. These things were up here at some stage in our lives. Now people you see almost every day.
Priscilla went and was invited by Beyonce and Jay-Z. Can you imagine? No one ever thought that will happen. And we can never fault people by reaching those standards and find something wrong with it.
Yes,
yes may tola wrong alabantu laba that have made it America man. I don't think Tuso nope. Tuso deserves to be there.
Exactly.
Trevor deserves everything that is coming his way. Nomzamo grand lapha khona. Waffles can DJ lapha khona to any party that she wants to DJ to. Why are we trying to find fault in the little things? How about we try and change our mindset and say, let's take it a step higher.
Or ask yourself, why is your miserable life not changing?
Why are you even worried about that? Why are you even worried to be Lola?
Who does she know? Who did he sleep with?
So people must sleep with people before they get to certain positions.
Exactly.
That's wrong. We need to change our mindset sometimes and just be happy with what we are and what we do.
So if you'd like to watch Assassin, you can go book tickets. Go literally at the bottom of the screen there and click there. Assassins is about assassins transferring their minds in other people's bodies to become murdering drones and kill the bad guys. It is rated R because, again, it's really, really dope. Starring Noza Mombata and Bruce Willis. It's an action sci-fi movie, a private military operation led by Bruce Willis invents futuristic microchip tech that enables the mind of an agent to inhabit the body of another person to carry out covert, deadly missions. But when an agent, Mustafa Shakir, is killed during a secret mission, his wife, who's played by Nomzamo Mbata, takes his place in an attempt to bring the men responsible to justice. If you thought Nomzamo kicks ass, she really kicks ass. Here's the trailer.
These are my plans. This is not my body.
This is the future of drone warfare.
This is not my body.
Kill the bad guy. Somebody else takes the fall.
This is not my body.
Adrian's coming for us.
Get that tech back. Take down Adrian's crew.
Yo.
Onje in the film lamapills are blue and red.
The Matrix.
Shit. No, I hardly go to movies.
Yeah.
The last time I went to movies, I fell asleep. I'm not tell you which movie I watched, but yeah, la fresh. That is that. What kind of life? Yeah.
You know, I used to tell people that sometimes I go to the movies or on a movie date just so that I can nap. Because that's the only time you can nap and nobody disturb you.
Fam. I went there and the kids were like, "Oh, baby, we need to go. Yeah, okay.
Let's go.
Hey, I'm not like 2 hours, baby, nothing wrong with the movie. It is everything wrong with me. I fell asleep nicely.
Now, in 2002, Willis's family announced that he was retiring because he'd been diagnosed with aphasia, a disorder typically caused by damage to the area of the brain that controls language expression and comprehension. At the time of his retirement, Willis had completed 11 films awaiting release. In February this year, the family announced that he had been diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia. Aphasia is the inability to comprehend or formulate language because of damage to specific brain regions. Major causes are strokes and head trauma. Now, when it comes to the movie trailers, what appeals to you, Skhumba, when it comes to a movie trailer, what appeals to you? Like, what says to you, go watch this movie?
The questions I will have after watching the trailer. I don't want to watch a trailer and finish the movie in my head.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing about Fresh. No, I'm creative out here.
Sure.
So don't throw things at me and thinking that I'm just going to let it go.
Yeah.
I start playing the movie in my head.
Yeah.
Now I want to go see the movie.
Yeah.
And then I start seeing the movie. I'm like, I finished this movie before it started.
Yeah.
Nah.
You knew already.
Nah, I don't want that. Don't give me too much. I like this. There's a movie that they gave us too much. The Luther.
Yeah.
I think when Luther, they gave us too much. That when you go and watch Atlas album, like, okay. And I don't understand why Atlas Zangal, he never had anything to eat the whole movie. It's like, hold on. What's that other movie we watched now? The South African one that has Siskil Mabalane?
Unseen.
Akakezanga kayi-1 usiskili kayi-1 akadlanga kayi-1 le bhara ilandile imnike 2 sly and peanut butter azange yidle nokuyidla. Now I watch movies for that reason. I want to watch a movie, I'm like,
So you want it must be realism.
idla something. Mdogo since I landed in episode 5 by release azange ayithole the whole sister Baleka Fresh and she
walks everywhere.
And she kills everyone. She has never killed no one. She was working in my kitchen.
Yeah.
Now she can hold a gun and kill everyone. Okay, Siskale, nice. Because to me, it's just Siskale Mabalan, not the character. That's the fucked up thing about me. Now I put the real person there.
Because you know them.
I'm like, it's sexy for no reason. And the whole movie, and then it dies. Dude, we've been looking for you the whole movie, then you die, G.
Don't even take off your top. Nothing.
Ladies are like, Iskipa Paramisa.
Show us something, Julio.
I'm watching movies for the wrong reason lately, Joe.
Anyway, go out and watch Assassin. It's an incredible movie. Nomzamo Mbata alongside Bruce Willis and the other guy. Give a prison break. Because
prison break, no,
because people don't know the name Dominic Purcell. They're like, no, Nomzamo was in a movie, we'll do prison break.
It's dead. I don't know Siskale's name on Anzinyazo to Siskale. That's just dead.
Anyway, we are done with our movie for the week. We'll be doing Action Fridays every Friday with Stir Kiniko, exclusive to Stir Kiniko theaters. Yeah, go to the bottom of the screen there and you can book your ticket. Skumi, we need to let you go very soon.
Thank you very much, Will.
What are you working on where?
I am finishing off my tour. It's called, as I was saying, 9 and 10 June, I'm out in Cape Town, Baxter Theatre. And then I have, my last show is going to be Estate Theatre in July. Looking forward to it, man. People can go to my pages and check, because I always post my things there. And then I'm going to do my wheelchair drive show in July. And then August, I deliver those wheelchairs.
How many wheelchairs are you doing?
It will depend on the people that come to the show, because I take everything that happens at the door and I go buy wheelchairs with it.
So how many did you buy the last show?
I bought 26.
Okay, so we need to double that.
It will be awesome. And there's a guy from Ekaslami that is interested in buying more wheelchairs. So yeah, people look out for it. It's gonna be equal of city. And then I take a break on August while I deliver the wheelchairs. Then back in action around September at Silverster Casino.
So as part of my commitment to the drive, I'd like to donate 5 wheelchairs.
Man.
I'd like to challenge every other podcast and every other unemployed radio DJ out there. 5 wheelchairs donated to Skhumba.
You don't understand how much a wheelchair changes a person's life out here.
First, we take mobility for granted because when you can just get up and walk.
Fresh, I donated wheelchairs in Pretoria. The sister, I think she's 28 now.
Yeah.
She's been living with disabilities for about 12 years.
Sure.
She hasn't moved from here to here for 12 years. So, but they have to from Latula. I gave her a wheelchair. She's like, yes, going to the mall.
Yeah.
You're around the young mall. They would have pushed me the whole day. They were not ready. It's mad, Skhumba. Going to the wheelchair and around the mall.
It's funny you talk about that. September, I donated a wheelchair to a child in Botswana. And this child lives in a village.
Sure.
Wakes up, they put her in a wheelbarrow, they put her by a tree. She spends the day under the tree. And they bring her a meal in the evening.
It's because she's in prison under a tree.
Now she has a wheelchair. Now she's mobile. Now she's mobile.
I've donated over, not me. We have donated over 400 wheelchairs in the past 6 years.
That is amazing.
That is way over 400 wheelchairs that we have donated. And it started as a joke when I said to Bob Nokrag, ask by any wheelchair, man, that's 20 they sponsor started and it keep walking.
Yeah.
They were listening, they came through it was that.
Yeah.
Never looked back. And thank you to everyone that has ever donated anything to this wheelchair drive. It's not my thing as much as but I'm not the one buying wheelchairs. Me, I tell jokes, you guys buy the wheelchairs, that's just that.
What's the one gag you did when you were on radio with Bob that blew up beyond your wildest imagination?
It was about Jumanji going to just true story. And went to a party, and in that party everyone is educated, they have money, drinking nice whiskeys.
So Mandla's your boy?
Mandla's my boy.
Yeah.
He was drunk that day.
Sure.
So he went outside, he saw people stealing petrol on a pipe from the cars. But English Mandla, like his English is way worse than mine. He came home, he came to the room like, hey, scooping a pipe petrol aside. What? At scooping a pipe petrol aside. But what is this saying? You know the rich people. What is this saying? But just petrol scooping a pipe petrol. I did that joke. It blew up so much. Now people want me to say it on stage, and I don't want to do that.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
No, I've done it already at that moment, and it's always been one of my biggest. But now, Joe, I watch TikTok.
Sure.
There's this boy called Manando that takes everything I did with Bob, puts it into life.
Oh yes, I've seen those. Manando he's bad news. He's bad news.
I don't understand how he gets every little thing I say right, and he kills it. And I love his videos, and I love what he does. And it's like I can't be jealous of saying that's not me.
Yeah.
Me, I'm just a narrator here.
Sure.
This guy is an actor.
Yes.
That's just it. And I love.
And he's bringing you to life, and he's immortalizing you.
And that keeps me as a Skhumba, as a comedian out there.
Exactly.
So I always know out of sight, out of mind. It's a good thing you have this podcast show. You not being on radio, but we see you everywhere now.
Sure.
It's great for you because fresh, out of sight, out of mind.
Sure. And they forget very fast.
Fam, they move more. They move on.
They move on. Huh?
And Joe, this thing is great. You started this whole podcast with I'm like, what are I doing, Joe? You're wearing a page. I'm like, the fresh year lobola. Now you're back, Victor. It's a lobola show. How to lobola me? What the fresh ones are?
Welcome to the Lobola podcast.
You are like that. Thank you for having me, my guy, man. Thank you, man.
Where's Mandla? Where's Mandla right now?
He got married this past weekend.
You're lying.
I promise you. So yeah, he got married this past weekend, and yeah.
So you went in the baggy that
Fam, they said I must chop. Bad decision.
what did you say, man?
Fam, I don't know. I don't want to say it on the podcast, but Mandla, hi the boy.
So is the marriage over already?
3 weeks in pie. All I said was, Mandla, you don't look like the TC Royale. What's your They must never give me the mic when I mic out. No, I'm the wrong person to speak in any event. I'm the wrong person to speak to.
Yo, guys, Skhumba is about to leave the building. Skhumbi, thank you so much, my man.
Thank you very much, Ochami. It's been a pleasure being here, and yeah, thank you for what you've done for so many people in the industry, so many
Yes,
people
sir.
that don't even, not even on radio, just easy human beings that you have done things for. You are an amazing person, Joe. Keep on doing you as much as long as I'm radio. No, things are gonna look up fresh. Don't worry, Joe. People are gonna apologize. They're gonna give you your money. It's not a credit, fresh. You know
So I mustn't worry.
you know, still have your people language. That's just that. You still have people that watch you. Grand, nale track ayak, nale mapuna itu, nale mapuna boba and fresh. We are now 947. You will have a push in 947.
No. They said if you're leaving, well, not you are leaving. So they packed their bags and they came.
Oh, I wanted to say something. Woo! Never. Say that. Skhumba.
Ladies and gentlemen, Skhumba, the big banger, is about to leave the building.
Yo, I need to say something else, Gamambel.
Oh, my man, say it. It's not too late.
This is. Wow! What a week.
What a week.
And we are done for the week. Skhumba was amazing. Thank you, Skhumbi. Love you, my dude. Shout out to AMP Studios for hosting us, the Africa Podcast Network for getting us out there, Pezulu Works for the cinematography, and our audio engineer, Otis The Flow Fraser. Shout out to our guest, Skhumba Hlophe, show producer, Kelezo Mutisakeng, and creative director, Kuvesh Mohan. Email us at waw@africapodcastnetwork.com.